Joining us now is political analyst Raphael Melancon. So Raphael, Carney took 86% of the vote. What does that tell you?
Well, first of all, of course, it's a show of unity tonight from the Liberal Party and its members. Clearly, they have massively supported. It's a landslide victory for Mark Carney, Kelly. It's something we had not, even in the polls, we had not expected. We knew that Carney was largely in advance in this race throughout the race since the beginning, of course. But tonight we have the confirmation. It was more than a leadership race, actually. It was a coronation for Mark Carney tonight. A great victory, certainly. And it shows that all of his party is behind him. So oftentimes with leadership races, it's a divisive process for a lot of parties. But tonight we know that the Liberal Party is united behind its new leader and soon to be Prime Minister, of course.
So what happens now? How exactly does this transition of power work?
Well, it's going to go quite fast, actually. So tonight we still have Justin Trudeau as Prime Minister, Kelly. Even though he's no longer the leader of the Liberal Party, he is still technically in our system considered as the Prime Minister. So what he will have to do is within the next 24, 48 hours maximum, he's going to tender his resignation to the Governor General, who will then ask the governing party, the leader of the governing party, which is of course now Mark Carney, to form a new government, which would be sworn in within the next week, actually. So very fast, very quick transition, and we will certainly see Mark Carney try and promote some and maybe bring in new faces within his government to show the Canadian people that this is a new government. This is no longer the Trudeau era, and this is the beginning of the Carney era. So a lot will be happening this week, and we hear tonight rumors that Mark Carney could be tempted right now to trigger a general election as soon as within the next 10 days. So that means that even though Parliament is prorogued right now and the parliamentary session should resume at the end of March, so roughly in 2 weeks, that means Parliament would not be going back to Ottawa, and we would be having an election before the session resumes in Ottawa. So that things could move quite quickly on the federal stage right now.
Well, we know there has to be a general election this year, whether that's in the spring or the fall. But what we do know is that it will be against Pierre Poilievre, and the Liberals will have quite a task there. How do you think that matchup will go?
It's going to be a huge challenge for Mark Carney, Kelly, because as we know, it is the first time in our history that a prime minister has absolutely no parliamentary experience at all. So Mark Carney has a very impressive background as a public servant, as the former governor of the Bank of Canada, governor of the Bank of England as well, but he has no political experience. So it's going to be a huge challenge facing someone like Pierre Poilievre, who has over 2 decades of political experience as an elected official, who's a seasoned debater, a very charismatic character. So and tonight we saw also during the debates, the 2 debates they had a couple of weeks ago, Mark Carney was struggling, and even tonight I thought he lacked some energy. Good speech, very good points here, but tonight it was still a little bit bland. So he needs to step up on that. He needs to do a lot of learning in terms of being a charismatic leader and being more at ease on stage in those circumstances, so that he can face Pierre Poilievre in the next election.
Well, certainly a lot of tests coming up for the new Liberal leader with very little political experience, as you mentioned. Raphael, as always, we thank you for your input.
My pleasure, Kelly. Have a good night.